And that wraps up this extended coverage of Barack Obama's re-election as US president. What started off as a tight contest ended much quicker than anyone expected and far more emphatically, with the Democrat declaring victory early this afternoon. Melbourne and Sydney viewers stand by for the 6 p.m. news. Adelaide, Perth and Brisbane will resume normal programming. I'm Chris Reason. Thanks for your company. Goodbye.
Tonight, wild celebrations across America as Barack Obama's re-elected US president. A bikie gang link revealed after a man shot 4 times in a Sydney street. Part of the M5 tunnel to remain closed overnight to repair damage caused by a truck. Prince Charles and Camilla get up close and personal with some cute locals. Plus the emergency services operator who helped deliver a Sydney baby.
This is 7 News with Chris Barth.
Good evening. Barack Obama has claimed victory over Mitt Romney in the US presidential election, declaring 4 more years. Tonight, our 7 News correspondents are with us live with the winners and the losers. We'll go first to Mike Amor with the Obama campaign in Chicago. Mike, he's just spoken. What's the president had to say?
Yeah, welcome to Party Central, Chris. You can see there the streamers coming down, and Barack Obama and his family still on stage after giving that speech. He thanked the party faithful in this building who'd waited a couple of hours to see him, but also all of America for giving him a second term, some might say a second chance. He promised to use those 4 years to rebuild this country's economy, but also restore its pride. Many expected a cliffhanger, but just after 11 p.m. Eastern Time, the president was re-elected.
Brian, there's no what-ifs anymore. That's done.
CNN projects that Barack Obama will be re-elected president of the United States.
Obama romping ahead of Romney, easily gaining the 270 electoral college votes needed to win.
We have picked ourselves up. We have fought our way back. And we know in our hearts that for the United States of America, the best is yet to come.
Obama trailed for much of the count, winning the liberal northeast states, Romney dominating the Midwest and South. But narrow wins in Ohio, Wisconsin, Iowa, Pennsylvania and New Hampshire put the president over the line, tweeting supporters 4 more years. It didn't stop Obama supporters from going wild, dancing in the streets. New York's Empire State Building turning blue in tribute. Party politics with the emphasis on party. And none more enthusiastic than those packing Obama's Chicago headquarters.
Thank you for believing all the way.
Voters expected him to deliver this time. Exit polls show what concerns them most: unemployment, rising prices, taxes and housing. While not as dramatic, this was another historic win for Barack Obama. No president has remained in office with unemployment as high as 7.9%. Earlier, he was making promises, working the phones.
My name was Barack Obama, you know, the president of the United States.
But there doesn't seem to be any doubt Barack Obama will be the US president for a second term. At the Obama headquarters in Chicago, Mike Amor, 7 News.
Now to Angela Cox with the Romney campaign in Boston, and she was reluctant to concede defeat.
Chris, Mitt Romney and his team refused to accept predictions of an Obama victory that were made about 3 hours ago. They were clinging to the hope of picking up some votes from those undecided states. It wasn't to be. The post-mortem has begun, but Mitt Romney can boast that he led the popular vote for much of the count. After a campaign stretching more than 500 days, Mitt Romney's day had arrived. Joined by his wife Anne, he voted in his hometown of Boston, but his mind was elsewhere.
Yeah, I feel great about Ohio.
He was leaving nothing to chance there. Whoever wins Ohio usually goes on to be president. So Romney boarded his jet for a final visit to thank campaign staff there.
This is a great day with great opportunity ahead.
Romney made one final stop to another key state, Pennsylvania, one he'd largely ignored until now.
Well, that's when you know you're going to win.
In the end, it was voters in the key states like Ohio and Pennsylvania who didn't believe in Mitt Romney's vision for America. Despite leading the popular vote for most of the night, he couldn't win enough crucial electoral votes to claim the White House.
This is a time of great challenges for America, and I pray that the president will be successful in guiding our nation.
After such a close race, the big question is whether the Republicans will finally cooperate with President Obama. The one thing uniting this deeply divided nation, they all want their politicians to work together.
I think you can't help but be disappointed, but at the same time, Governor Romney gave a valiant attempt.
Well, we are devastated.
After failing in his second attempt to be president, the 65-year-old millionaire is not expected to nominate again. In Boston, Angela Cox, 7 News.
To other news now, and drivers are facing marathon delays with the M5 East tunnel closed for all city-bound traffic until tomorrow morning. Repairs are needed after an oversized truck drove through, damaging the height detection system. Tonight, drivers are being diverted onto King George's Road with long delays. Westbound traffic is not affected. Police have revealed a man gunned down in a Western Sydney street before dawn is a bikie. The gunman shot him 4 times, but he's expected to pull through. Police believe it was one Comanchero turning on another.
Not content with fighting a bikie war against traditional rivals,